Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to knit my Rosi hat. I hope you guys like it and give it a try, and here is the list of material you're gonna need to make it. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell, that way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I do my videos in Spanish and English, so if you receive a Spanish video, look at the main page of my channel that you're gonna find the version of that video in English. This little hat is for a little girl around 1.5 to 3.5 years old. If you want this a little bit smaller, just by changing the size of the knitting needle, it will be smaller, or if you use a little bigger needles, it will be a little bit bigger. So for this part, and here I use a 4mm and a 4.5, so you can use a 3.5 and a 4mm, and that will be a smaller hat. Or you can use a 4.5 for the border here and a 5 for the top, and the hat will be much bigger just by changing the size of the needles. To make this hat, this is the material that I'm gonna use. These are leftover yarn that I have from other projects, but they are the loops and thread, simili lane, 100 grams, 620 meters. That's when you have the full ball. 85% acrylic, 15% nylon, and superfine 1. But you need 3 strands in order to have the right thickness for these projects. So the knitting needle, I'm going to use 2 sizes. I'm going to use a 4mm and a 4.5, but if you only have one, or you want to just do it with one, you can use the 4.5. And I have here my double pointed needle, 4.5mm as well, for when we start doing the decrease, that you don't can work anymore with this one because they are too big, and you start then with the double pointed. You're gonna need a marker to mark the beginning and end of the rounds, and after that, when we start with the decrease, you will need more markers to mark the places for the decrease. It will make things easier for you. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors. Now the colors of this one, they call this one a pink. Really is almost like a purplish color, or like an old English rose color kind of color. Green and red, and I'm gonna weigh them, that way you know the amount of yarn that I'm working with. This is gonna be the main color, and I think the one that we're gonna use the least is the red, so that way you know exactly how many grams of each I will be working with. Remember, they already are with 3 strands. That's how we're gonna work with them. So this pink one weighed 59 grams, the green 66, and the red 34. So that's the amount of yarn that I'll be working with. So I'm gonna take a picture of this graph or chart, and I'm gonna leave that picture in my YouTube page, Ruby Stedman Crochet, and in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. The links for them are in the description box below. Okay, so let's start making this hat. This is the stitch, and they are multiple of 8 repetition, or 8 stitch repetition until here, and then start again from 1 to 8. For this girl's hat, I'm gonna cast on 72 stitches, and when it's time to do the decrease, I will separate those stitches in portion of 12 stitches. Now, if you want this for an adult, you can cast on 96 stitches, and when it's time to do the decrease, you'll divide the stitches in 16 stitches portion, and that will be 6 times. Okay, that way you have everything even for the decrease. You have to make sure before you do the hat that when it's time to do the decrease, your portion are divided with the same amount of stitches. We're gonna start with this one, and I remember when in the graph I don't show you how you're gonna cast on, well, how many stitches you're gonna cast on and how many rows you're gonna do for the border. Or what I give you in the graph is just the Fair Isle design, or the standard work. Okay, the other things about the hat I will give you here in the video explanation. So let's start casting on our 72 stitches. Now we need to leave the tail long enough for casting on our 72 stitches. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap in here 18 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. 18 and 18, 36. 36 and 36, 72, plus we need to cast one extra stitch to close the circumference in the second round, so it will be 73. So you leave a little extra. You're gonna do a slip knot, and with the 4mm netting needle, you're gonna start casting on your 73 stitches. So I will meet you here when I have those 73 stitches on my needle. Once you finish casting on your 73 stitches, you're gonna work one row of net 1 and pass the purl without working. Net 1, pass the purl without working. But before you do that, make sure that you tie a knot in here to secure the first stitch, okay? So when you open work, I'm gonna do a tubular cast on. So you're gonna net the first one, yarn to the front, and you're gonna pass the purl without working. Yarn to the back and net, yarn to the front, a purl without working. Yarn to the back and net, yarn to the front, a purl without working. Yarn to the back and net, yarn to the front, a purl without working. And like that you're going to continue all the way until the last stitch. Then you're going to end with one net. I finished the round. Now we're going to close our circumference, and you have to make sure that this is not twisted, and you will have that nice stitch for the outside. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to pass the last stitch to this needle in order to place the marker. I'm going to place it back. Now the first stitch that I did, that was a net. We started with a net, finished with a net, but we're going to remove the last one. We're going to pass that one, and then this one before the marker. I'm going to pass over that one and take it out. It will be big, but once you bring these two together and you pull this one, that one will make sure that this is even and with a nice finish and nice and tight when you pull the working yarn. So now we're going to do the opposite of what we did in the first row. The first row we worked the net and passed the purl. Now we're going to pass the net and work the purl. So that first one was a net. We passed it without working. Now yarn to the front. You're going to purl this one. Yarn to back as to net, and you're going to pass the net back through the front strand like a purl. Yarn to the front, a purl, yarn to the back as to net, and you're going to be moving your stitches, and you're going to pass the net without working. Yarn to the front, a purl, yarn to the back and net without working. Yarn to the front, a purl, and yarn to the back and net without working. And like that you're going to continue all the way around, and you're going to finish with a purl. I finished that round. Now we're going to do a 1x1 rib. We're going to do a twisted rib that is working the net stitch through the back strand. Usually we do the net from the front to the back, but this time we're going to grab this back strand and just knit the stitch like that. And just by doing that, that stitch will be twisted red. And the purl, a regular purl, the net through the back strand. A purl and the net through the back strand. Remember, usually the net is from the front strand, from the front to the back, and that's a regular net. And by doing this in the back, you create it just a little bit different. It's just the red. Okay, so like that you're gonna do this entire round. Okay, once you finish that round, you will continue the same, working the nets in the back strand and doing the purls, and again the net in the back strand, until you have 1.5 inch, that is around 4 centimeters. Okay, and then after that we're gonna work the design of the graph, but before that, in the last round of 1 by 1 rib stitch, we're gonna change to the 4.5 netting needles. I have my 1.5 inches. Now I'm gonna change to the 4.5 millimeter, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a regular net, no twisted net this time. So I'm gonna start with this one. Let me pull that one out a little bit, and your regular purl, yarn to the back, a regular net, yarn to the front, a regular purl. Like that you're gonna work until you have all your stitches and the new needle. After this, we're gonna start working on our first round with the chart. I finished the round. Now we have our 4.5 needles. Now we're gonna work with the chart in the green, and in the chart you have 3 rounds with the green of net. So I'm gonna come here, and I have my 3 strands together, and I'm gonna start knitting. That's the tail. Make sure I have these out of the way. They're working. Pink yarn, and I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna leave that one there, working just with the green for 3 rounds. You'll see how easy this is. Okay. So once you have those 3 rounds, we'll meet in here. I finished the round, but I wanted to show you what to do when you come to this part here, because it's open. You're gonna leave this under, and then with the tail and the working yarn, you're gonna do a knot, but try to do the knot closer where the tail is. Okay? Move the stitches together. That way you don't get a hole in there. And you're gonna do a double knot. Now place your marker back, and you're gonna continue working with the green for those 2 round that we have left. Okay, I finished those 3 rounds with a green. Now we're going to start at number 4 with 1 green, 2 pink, 1 green, 2 pink, 3 green. And a 3 because you're going to finish with 2 and start again with 1. The sign is until here. You see? It's really 1 green, 2 pink, 1 green, 2 pink, 2 green. And then you start again with 1, and that's what creates the 3 in here. So you're going to finish with 2 in here, and it will be 3 at the end. So we're going to start with 1 green. I have the pink in this finger. It's ready. So you start with 1 green. Now you're going to do 2 pink. 1 and 2. You're going to do 1 green. And you see the space in behind the stitches. And now again you're going to do 2 pink. Open those 2 stitches. And now you're going to do your 2 green to finish those 8 plus 1 to start. Number 1 is those 3. Okay, so you're gonna do the repetition from the 2 pink to this 3 green over and over, and you're gonna finish with 2 green. So again, now you open those 3 stitches and you're gonna do 2 pink, open those 2, do 1, 2 pink, and now you're going to do 3 green. Like that, you're going to continue all the way until the end, and like I said, you're going to finish with 2 green. Once you finish number 4, you're going to work in number 5, and it's very easy. 3 pink, 1 green, 3 pink, 1 green, 3 pink, 1 green, and so on. I already worked this little piece in Spanish, so we're going to start with, at the beginning you're going to start with 3 pink. So 1, 2, and 3. Open those 3, and you're going to do 1 green. 3 pink. Open those 3, and 1 green. 3 pink, 1 green, and like that you're going to continue all the way around. 3 and 1. Remember always to open those 3 stitches, that way you have a nice strand inside. We're going to work on number 6, and it is 2 pink, 3 green, 2 pink, 1 green, 2 pink, 3 green, 2 pink, 1 green, and so on. It's like number 4, but in different places, the green stitches. So I already did this section with the Spanish, so now we're going to do 2 pink. It's exactly the same. When you start 2 pink, open those 2 stitches and do 3 green, 1, 2, and 3. Open those 3 and do 2 pink, 1 and 2. Open those 2 stitches and do 1 green. And there you have your 8 stitches. So like that you're going to continue all the way until the end, and you're going to finish with 1 green. Number 7 is 1 pink to begin with, and then 5 green, 3 pink, 5 green, 3 pink, 5 green, and so on. So you start with 1 pink and you'll finish with 2 pink. So I already did this section in Spanish, so you're going to start the first one with 1 pink. So in here, 1 pink, and you're going to do 5 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're gonna open those 5 stitches, and right on the tip of the needle you're gonna do the first one in pink, and then you're gonna do 2 more, and those are the 3. So again, you open those 3 stitches, and you're gonna do 5 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're gonna open those 5, and in the tip of the needle you're gonna do the first one in pink. And if you look, when I do my first one pink, I hold that stitch with my finger. That way when I'm gonna do the other stitch, I don't pull that strand and make the strand inside here shorter. Okay, so you do the other 2, and then again you start with 5 green, and like that you're gonna continue, and you're gonna finish before the marker with 2 pink. Remember, it's 3 and 5. We're gonna work at number 8, and it is 1 pink, 1 green, 1 pink, 1 green, 1 pink, 1 green, 3 pink, and again 1 green, 1 pink, 1 green, 1 pink, 1 green, 3 green, and so on. You started with 1 pink and finish with 2. So I already did this section here in Spanish, so I'm gonna start from the first 1 pink, 1 green, 1 pink, 1 green, 1 pink, 1 green, and now you're gonna do your 3 pink are on top of these 3 pinks. Okay, you see? So you're gonna do your 3 pink, 1, 2, and 3, and like that you're gonna continue again. Now 1 green, pink, green, pink, green, 3 pink, and so on. And this is the last round that you're gonna work with the green, and then will be the pink and the red. Now we're gonna work at number 9. I already cut this one, and I'm gonna pass the green to this side because I'm gonna weave it a little bit. This part is gonna be a little bit more fiddly, but if you don't want to do that, you can leave the green one there and lose that tail later, but I want to weave it a little bit because it'll be easier for me later. And at the same time we're going to start with the red, so that's why I say it's going to be a little more fiddly. So we're going to start with 2 pink, 3 red, 5 pink, 3 red, 5 pink, 3 red, 5 pink, 3 red, and then at the end you're going to finish with 3 pink. So, and here I'm gonna pass this through those 2, the green and the red, leaving a tail here for losing later, and then I'm gonna yarn over and lift that and just bring out the pink. So the next one is another pink, and they're trapped in here. So now you're gonna do three red. I'm gonna leave the pink in here, and with this hand I'm gonna do the 3 red, and I'm gonna bring in here. That way I can trap that green as well. 1, 2, and 3. You see, I left that green and it's trapped in here. Now you have to do 5 pink. You want to leave the red in that place, and now with the pink you're going to continue trapping the green. So open the stitches, come here and start 1, 2, you see I go under the stitch, lift it, 3, leaving the green in the back and only bringing out the pink. 4 and 5. I'm gonna leave the green in there, open those 5 stitches, grab the red, remember open them really well, and again you're gonna continue with the red doing 3. 1, 2 and 3. I'm gonna leave the green. I don't need to weave the green anymore. Now I'm gonna work just with the red and pink. Open those stitches, those 3, go to the tip of your needle and do your 5 pink. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Open those 5 and do your 3 red. Always at the tip of your needle. 1, 2 and 3. Open those 3 and do your 5 pink, and like that you're going to continue until the end. Okay, I finished the round. Now number 10 is the opposite, but we're going to start, instead of 2 pink, we're going to start with 1 pink and then 5 red, 3 pink, 5 red, 3 pink, 5 red, and then you're going to finish with 2 pink. So I did a knot with the tail of the red and the working red, so it is secure the stitch. So you're going to start with 1 pink, with the tail out of the way, and you're going to do 5 red. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're going to open those 5 stitches and you're going to do at the tip of your needle, grab the red in there. 1, 2 and 3. You're going to open those stitches and you're going to do your 5 red. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You open those stitches and now you want to work in your 5 pink, 3 pink. Remember it's 5 and 3. This time is 5 red, 3 pink. Number 11 is 1 pink, 2 red, 1 pink, 2 red, 3 pink, and then again 2 red, 1 pink, 2 red, and so on. So I already did this first one in Spanish. Now in English you're gonna do, it's like from the beginning, 1 pink, always open your stitches, 2 red, open those 2, move your stitches, 1 pink, 2 red, open your stitches. Now you're going to do 3 pink, exactly 1 pink on top of each pink, and like that you're going to continue all the way to the end. So now you do 3 pink and then 2 red, 1 pink, 2 red, 3 pink. You start with 1 pink and you finish with 2 pink as well. Number 12 is 2 red, 1 pink, 1 red, 1 pink, 2 red, 1 pink, and start all over again. 2 red, 1 pink, 1 red, 1 pink, 2 red, 1 pink. So you're gonna start with 2 red, open those 2 stitches, 1 pink, 1 red, 1 pink, 2 red, and 1 pink. And like that, you're going to continue this round and you're going to finish with 1 pink, okay? We're going to work in 13 and it is exactly the same as 9. You're going to start with 2 pink and then 3 red, 5 pink, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 3 red and 3 pink at the end, okay? So the repetition is 2 to start with, and then after that you start 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, and at the end you finish with 3 pink, 3 red and 3 pink at the end of the round 13. So I already did this in Spanish, so make sure when you start here you finish with 1 pink and the next 2 are pink, so you open those 3 pink to do the 3 red, okay? So I'm opening those 3, but I still have to do 2 more to start with. So you're going to start with 2 pink and then you're going to do 3 red, 1, 2, and 3. Open those 3 and again in the tip you're going to do now 5 pink, 1, 2, 3, move your stitch around, 4 and 5. Open those 5 stitches and do your 3 red. Remember, when you do your 3 red, I lost this, let's try. On the tip you hold the first one, that way when you do the other 2 you are not pulling on the long strand of those 5. You open those 3 and again you're going to continue with 5, and like that you're going to do 5 and 3, 5 and 3, and you're going to finish with 3 pink like so, okay? So we'll have only 1 more round. It will be 14 with the red, and after that we'll continue with the pink, and we're almost done our flowers. We're going to work in the last round, and the last round 14 of the color work is 3 and 1. 3 pink, 1 red, 3 pink, 1 red, 3 pink, 1 red, and so on. So and here you finish with 3 red and you're going to start with 3 you finish with 3 pink and you're going to start with 3 pink. So you will have a 6 space stitches. But I don't want to trap it because it's just 1 more. Just 1 more than my usually 5. So 1, 2, and 3, and you see I have 6 stitches to bring the red. So bring your to the tip of the needle, open those 6 stitches and grab it here, put your finger, take it out, and do now 3 pink. 1, 2, and 3. Open those 3, and you're going to do 1 red, 3 pink, and open those 3 pink and do 1 red, and like that you're going to continue all the way to the end, and you're going to finish with 1 red, and that's the last round of the color work. I finished that round and we're done with the red. Now I'm going to weave a little bit. So what I'm going to do is do this round with the pink and go under the red, lift it, take the pink out, and I'll weave it for a bit. And I will meet you here when I'm done this row around 15, okay? We finished with the graph. Now we're just gonna knit with the pink until we have around 5.5 inches in total from the border, and then we'll start dividing the space for the decrease. So, and here I have 4 inches, and 4 inches is 10 centimeters, so 5.5 is around 14 centimeters. You can do 14, 15 centimeters around that length before we start the separation for the decrease. So now with the pink, you're just gonna net all your stitches, okay? So I have my 5.5 inches, and now we're gonna work in the decrease. I already did one decrease in Spanish, so you're gonna need the rest of the marker. So you're gonna start in the first marker with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and now 11 and 12. This is the next two stitches. You're gonna knit them together, and that is the decrease. And like that, you're gonna continue all the way, placing your marker. That way is easier for you to know where the decrease go. So you're gonna continue knitting 10 and 11 and 12 together. I will show you one more time how's the decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and now you're gonna knit 11 and 12 together. You're gonna place a marker, and like that you're gonna continue all the way until the end, that you're gonna do 2 together, the last 2 stitches before this marker, okay? Once you finish that round of decrease, you're gonna do a round of just net all the stitches with no decrease. So you're gonna net every single stitch, and now in between the marker, and instead of 12, you have 11 stitches. When you finish this round, the next round will be a round of decrease, and you're gonna knit 9 and 10 and 11 together. When you finish that round, you will do another round without decrease, because those are the repetitions you're gonna do. One round with decrease, one without. And then 8 stitches, and then 9 and 10 together, and so on until you have like 6 or 7 stitches between the markers. But by then probably you'll be working with the DPM needles, the double pointed needles. So you're gonna do decreases until you have 2 stitches on each space between the marker. Then total will be 12 stitches, and then you'll close on the top. But you're gonna do those repetitions until you don't can work anymore with this, and then when it's time to change to the double pointed needle, I will meet you here. Now it's time to work with the double pointed needle. I have 5, but you're gonna need 4 to pass all the stitches and 1 to work the stitches. So since we have 6 space in the first needle, you're gonna put these 2 spaces of stitches with the marker in between, and 1. And the next one you put 1, and the one after that you put 2 spaces, and in the last one you put 1, like this. So now I'm gonna place the marker on this side, because I still need to know where I start and end my rounds. So that's what we're going to do now, okay? So we're going to keep one marker in this space and one marker in the other one. The other ones we don't want to need anymore. So here I have all my stitches in the 4 needles. So now this is a round of decrease. So the decrease will go the 2 stitches before this marker, the last 2 stitches, and this one, the last 2 stitches, and this one, the 2 stitches before the marker, and the last 2 stitches, and in this one, the last 2 stitches. Depend on the amount of stitches that you have left on your needle. Maybe you have to do now decrease in all the round, so you will do your decreases exactly the same until you have 2 stitches on each space for a total of 12. After that, with the tapestry needle, we will close the little hole in the top of your hat, and then loose the tails, and we'll done our little squirrel's hat. Okay. So like that, you're gonna continue with your decrease. Right now I have to do a round without decrease, and after that the rest of the round will be with decrease, and then I will meet you here when it's time to close the top. Remember, it's exactly the same how I show you how to do the decrease and work the double pointer needle is how you're gonna work the rest of the rounds. Here I have my 12 stitches left. Now I'm gonna cut a strand long enough to pass through those stitches twice and lose the tail. Okay. Now you're gonna lose all the inside tails and secure this and the top. I will do that and I will show you the end result, okay? Well, this is the end result of my Rosi hat. Like that, look through the back. It's adorable. This is leftover of the pink and the green and the red. They look like I hardly use any. So I have enough there, except from this one. I have a little bit from another project that I can make a matching little neck warmer or cowl, okay? So that will be in my next tutorial. So I hope you guys like it and give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make this cute little hat and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page Ruby Stedman Crochet or my Instagram Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.